Welcome back. Well, she's an award-winning biographer, novelist, essayist and humanitarian. She's also the wife of Australia's longest-serving Labor Prime Minister and arguably the most popular, Bob Hawke. I'm talking about Blanche Delpouget, and she's back in the limelight, returning with her first book of fiction in 20 years. Blanche Delpouget knows all about the cutthroat nature of politics, a notion that often finds its way into her writing. The 69-year-old marks her return to novels with The Young Lion, a book about England's longest-lasting dynasty. The title character has been compared to her husband, a popular rebel of Australian politics.
I tell you what, any boss who sacks anyone for not turning up to die at the bunk.
Blanche and Bob fell in love while she researched his biography, a book that would help propel him to leadership. It was a relationship which caused controversy, but they married in 1995 and have remained by each other's side ever since.
Best is still to come.
Forever modest. Forever modest.
In the 80s and 90s, Blanche cemented her reputation as a novelist and remains as passionate as ever about her writing. But when she's not poring over her books, you can find Bob and Blanche at their home, talking about, of course, politics and what makes each other tick.
Who I look at?
Me. And Blanche joins us now. You were just watching that then and smiling during it. Is it nice to look at all the old pictures of you and Bob and you in
It is, except I'm always horrified when I see myself.
And isn't that awful? Because when you look back and you think, but you were gorgeous.
Look back, yes, you're right about that. You're right about that, Monique, thank you.
Blanche. That's not what I meant. Still as gorgeous as ever. And here to talk about your new book, set in 12th century France.
Yes.
It was a time of great passion, of politics. Are things now more boring, more bland?
Yes, much more, much more. Throughout the world, I think. This was a time of really exciting people and really exciting events. And it was a much more optimistic period than, unfortunately, we live in today. The characters were very big, and it was something that I wanted to bring to readers. Because people think of the 12th century and they think, oh, but in fact it was marvellous. And so I wanted to bring that excitement and joy to readers who wouldn't have thought about it.
You've also written two biographies on your husband, Bob Hawke. What's a more...
No, it's really one biography.
And an update.
And an update. And it was just going to make a brick. So the publishers decided to publish a separate book. Yeah.
So what is more fascinating then? The characters in the 12th century or your husband, Bob Hawke?
I have to say, the Young Lion is more fascinating.
Well, there's been some comparisons to the warrior-like protagonist in your book and your husband. What are the similarities there?
Honestly, there are none.
Right.
There really are none.
So how was that?
Except they're both warriors, but he was a warrior with a sword and actually killed people, and Bob's a warrior in good causes, and he would be a warrior with his voice.
You strike me as a person of great passion and of great fun. You know, we've heard that famous laughter of yours, which is infectious. How does the solitary nature of writing work for you? Do you enjoy that sort of peace away from just, the fun?
100%. I have a horrible little flat with no telephone, cold water, and no window. Well, it's a window about this big, and I go in there and close the door, and I go into the zone, and it's wonderful, and I can really feel as if I'm writing with my heart's blood. So it's a great experience for me going back to fiction.
How supportive is Bob of your writing? Does he fetch you cups of tea or?
Oh well, no, I don't write anywhere near him, it's way away from the house. No, he's not allowed in. Nobody's allowed in. But he's very supportive. He just loves it that I've gone back to fiction because I'm so happy doing it.
You and Bob are still very much in the public eye. We saw you yesterday at the campaign launch in Brisbane for Mr Rudd. What do you think? Are we to believe the polls? Is there going to be a landslide victory for Mr Abbott?
The young lion would say, this is a fight to the death. Yeah.
What was your impression of the campaign launch yesterday? We heard Bob say he was hugely impressed by it and in fact was the best campaign launch he's ever been to.
He was probably exaggerating a little bit, probably Gough Whitlow's in 72 was. But it was an excellent launch and it's just a pity it wasn't 3 weeks ago.
To give them that much needed boost.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you talk politics at home, you've said before that you and Bob love talking about politics. What happens? Do you always agree?
Oh no, we disagree about lots of things. I know you're going to ask me what, and now I can't think of anything off the top of my head. But there are many things on which we disagree. Agree to disagree. He always tries to argue his case. He always tries to win, but I'm very stubborn.
Yeah, I can imagine. You've also said that you actually don't have that much in common, but somehow it just works.
Yes, we've got nothing in common, including, as I remembered yesterday, he likes sitting in the front row of the aeroplane and I like sitting in the second row.
These are the big issues.
They are big issues.
Somehow you managed to navigate through it. Well, The Young Lion, it's a great read and you can pick it up now. Thank you so much, Blanche, for coming in. It was lovely to have you here on the set.
Thanks, Monique.
Thank you. And Blanche's new novel, The Young Lion, is available in stores now.